Brilliant. Well, with us now is the director, Jon Baird, director of Stan and Ollie. Congratulations on your 3 BAFTA nominations yesterday.
Thank you very
must
much.
Be thrilled.
Delighted, yeah. I'm still a bit shocked, to be fair. Somebody woke me up yesterday morning at 7:30 saying, we've got 3. I said, we've got 3 what? So no, it was a great thing. It was the first time I've been nominated as well, so I'm really going to savour the moment on the night. Yeah.
It's interesting because it's nominated alongside another biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, that tells the full story of Queen in their heyday. But you've chosen a section of Laurel and Hardy's history that's not very well known. It's after their big heyday. It's when they're sort of not on their uppers, but they see themselves as fading stars and wonder if anybody will watch them anymore.
Yeah, we decided that it would be more interesting to tell a story when they were facing a lot of challenges, you know. When you try to do a movie, you look for conflict, you look for things that challenge the characters. And at this part of their life, they were less popular. You know, Abbott and Costello were really the double act who'd taken over at that point. And Stan and Ollie they were in ill health. They were in real financial difficulties because they were very poor at the end of their careers because they didn't have rights to any other films. You know, the studio contracts were not very favourable to these pair, and the head of the studio started their contracts 6 months apart, so they never had any negotiating power either. So they did face a lot of challenges, and we thought therefore that would make a far more interesting film. You know, more drama, more conflict, and more comedy that comes from that as well.
I suspect this is part of the reason why there will be a bittersweet element to this film. I mean, we're told that, you know, we Scots are obviously very, very unemotional characters, but you cried on first reading the script.
I did, and I get sent a lot of scripts, you know, potential sort of to make into potential films, and this was the first time I'd ever cried on a read, and I thought, well, if it can make me cry on page, there's a huge potential for what it can do for an audience, you know, and that's why I really wanted to get into it. You know, I've loved Laurel and Hardy since I was 8 years old. There's a photograph of me as an 8-year-old kid dressed as Stan Laurel at the school fancy dress party, and a friend of mine is Oliver Hardy. So it goes back a long way, the love affair for myself with these 2 guys. But it is an emotional tale, and there are laughs in there. But it's not an out-and-out comedy, it's a drama, it's a love story with comedic elements, you know.
Talk to me about the double act of Coogan and Reilly, because they went to great lengths to mimic and perfect the comedic moves of Laurel and Hardy, which of course are so world famous.
Yeah. Well, they were our first choices for the roles. It was a very limited list of who we thought could play these 2 characters. And Steve, you know, Stan was from England, Steve's from England, and the same height, was born in the same region. Ollie was you know, an American, and Jon's the same sort of height, and so the physicality was there. But we also needed great dramatic actors and great comedic actors as well. And the list, when you're looking for that many things in an actor, the list is very, very short. And they took a little bit of persuading because they were playing their heroes, and there was so much...
So iconic.
So iconic, and so much responsibility as well to do it right. So what we decided to do was, you know, it wasn't a massive budget film, and we decided to spend a lot of our resources in rehearsals and giving them time to perfect the routines, like the dance at the beginning and all the sort of comedic routines that they do. So we invested a lot in that period of time.
Like the duo themselves, because they were thrown together, weren't they, as a pairing, much like Steve Coogan and Jon?
Yeah, exactly the same. Hal Roach, who was the head of the studio, picked out Laurel and Hardy separately, put them together and said, right, you 2, be funny.
Get on with it, yeah.
Yeah, get on with it, create an act. And Stan wrote all the material. They did 107 films, and Stan wrote them all. But Steve and Jon had to get to know each other within 4 weeks. So it was a very sort of intense period to get to, because they didn't know each other before. So I kind of was the Hal Roach for them, threw them together, and they've done they've done these men, you know, so much good service. And the biggest compliment we've had so far in the film was from Stan's great-granddaughter, Cassidy Cook, who came to see the film at the premiere, and she said, I forgot I was watching actors. I thought I was watching my great-grandfather up on screen. It was an incredible thing to hear.
Yeah, well, that is a great compliment, and it's also getting rave reviews from critics as well, who we know are hard to please. And thank you very much, Jon Baird, director of Stan and Ollie, which is out in cinemas
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Brilliant. Really looking forward to see that. And nominated for 3 BAFTAs as well.